right, here we are, new project. I'm about 2 days late from setting it up, but here we are in Los Alamitos, California. Stem wall footing project, room addition. Pretty much set up. Today we're doing the rebar. Today we'll start doing all this rebar out here. Grade beams, the whole gig.
Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. This particular job site is in Rossmore, right next to Los Alamitos, Seal Beach area. Water table's pretty high around here. You got to do this job. You know, summertime is the best time because of the water, the rain, and then the tide. It is pretty close to the ocean. You know, if you heard of Seal Beach, you've heard of Seal Beach Naval Base. It's kind of near there. These footings are beefy, and I think that's why they do it, because this really, it's not setting on really great ground. It's water table's high, like I said, so everything here is a grade beam. I believe it's 4 number 5s wrapped with number 3s, 8-inch everywhere. Bolts are like 8-inch centers, and they're usually 5/8 to 3/4 inch. No such thing as half-inch bolts down here anymore. This is all crawl space. You got an 18-inch crawl space underneath this new house. Or is this an addition? It can be either or because it's big. So those little sonotubes, instead of forming a square pedestal, the plans show square pedestals shooting up to support the beam that holds the floor joists up. But sonotubes are much easier because you don't have all that lumber cutting, wasted lumber, and then you can cut your sonas any length you want. You can drop them down into the hole a little bit if you want. But check this grade beam out. It's pretty. What do you got there? You got number 5s, and there's like 6 of them, top and bottom. Boom, heavy. And then it's doweled in at the other end. They've already got. They had to do a special inspection on the epoxy dowels into the existing there.
All right, gentlemen, here we are out on another Odell project. Different Odell. Down here in Orange County, California, city of Los Alamitos. We got Ty right here. He'd been working with the Odells for how long, Ty?
About 5 years.
5 years experience.
Yes,
That's like 10 years experience working for anybody else. How about you, Johnny? Oh, that's an Odell right there. That's Johnny Odell.
My whole life.
Oh, he's been doing this his whole life? Or is that the gay porn?
Both.
Oh, both. Okay. Well, maybe that'll hit YouTube. I don't know, but God willing, they delete that part.
Porn's not allowed on YouTube.
So anyway, we're out here tying up this grade beam. It's looking pretty good. Number 6s, top, bottom. Number 3 ties, 10-inch on center. Boom.
So take a look at this. It's absolutely overbuilt. You know what I mean? Because I've been down here. I've worked on some historic stuff down here. You know, that have been down here for 100+ years, and they're sitting on blocks, just in the dirt. You know, big, massive houses. And they're just fine. Now you get into this. So it looks like you've got 4 bars each way on the bottom of those footings. Those are all 2x2x2. Then you got your 1-foot pedestal, pop up. Those are going to all get wet set with, I think they're CB44s or 46s. Probably 44s is my guess. Check that out. Number 3 is all grade beam everywhere. Then you got to have your 3-inch clearance from dirt all the way around. And you know, when you're looking at these plans and the way they draw them up, if you actually did it exactly, if you dug the dirt perfectly, there's no room for tolerance. So you might as well just over dig it, you know, to be on the safe side. It kind of reminds me of trying to put in 2 number 4s in a 4-inch slab. Mathematically, it's impossible to make it really work well. Got a new bending tool here. And also, I believe we got a new wire tire on this one. Some Metabo stuff. All the dirt's got to be cleared out of there for the crawl space at some point, because you got to have 18-inch clearance when it's all said and done. The last thing you want to do is have to dig these out after the concrete's in. But I've seen some mistakes done where that's had to happen.
I'm out here in Los Alamitos setting up this raised foundation. Let me take you a walk through Odell Complete Concrete. Here we go. This is a return for the garage. You got to have those 1 1/8 anchor bolts, or it just doesn't get it done here in California. And then we got this grade beam going across to another couple 1.8", 36 long. And then we got our anchor bolt layout here down to one side of the garage here. And then we got the back of the garage. Look at this. 8-inch on center, 5/8 by 14 galvanized anchor bolts all the way down till the eye can see, all the way down there. Then we got our pier footings, which, you know, are pretty standard. CB44s. I think there's 21 of them in total. Excuse me. And then let's take a gander down here. There's our pier footings. Boom. Boom. Here we go. We got some more anchor bolts at the one of the interior walls. 8-inch on center once again. And I see an HD I missed right there. So I have to do that in the morning. I got an inspection tomorrow morning. Here we go. Take an overlook of the whole thing going on here. Pretty good size room addition, I gotta say. 2 number 4s, top and bottom, all the way around. Then we get down here ways. Still 2 number 2, top and bottom. These anchors are 16-inch on center, a little lighter. This here doesn't have any anchors because this interior area here is going to be a patio. So this is going to be a sliding glass door. I think, no, it's not even a sliding glass door, it's just open. And then we got more hardy walls right here. 12-inch hardy walls, 1.8" bolts again. Grade beam, boom, all the way down. And then we got one going that way. And we got 1-inch hold downs right here by 36. We got 2 of those, one on each end of this wall from there to over there.
This whole thing's, man, gonna be, I believe it's 4,500 PSI, this whole package. Which is nice because you see all that where there's no, they may underpin this later though a little bit. You still got to have that 2-foot footing. But with the 4,500, a lot of times it seals up quick. That's the nice thing about 4,500. You're not going to get a lot of movement. As soon as it gets to a certain point, it gets crispy. And it's not moving anymore. But look at the California ties going through the bottom of the 2x12, holding that underpin 2x6. Holds both forms at the bottom basically. So you have minimal uprights. You just have to have enough uprights to hold the weight of the lumber. And then the California ties, they do all the work. So you don't need kickers either. So here's pour day. This thing went 20 yards. But you can see what he's doing here. He's coming around the bottom. He's making 2 passes basically, but it's coming out stiff. So he might even be able to top off in 1 pass. That's my other brother in the orange shirt. But all these guys that he uses, well, Juan's here too. You remember Juan? He used to work with me a lot when I was down in Cali. And now I transferred him over to Darren's team. But look at those California ties even on the top as spreaders. No, they're not California ties. They're called Anaheim ties is what they're called. But Anaheim's in California. So I was close. I really like the versatility of a raised foundation like this for future projects and just general maintenance, you know. Plumbing, electric, you can just do things without tearing a whole slab out to do it. You can work on your drains, you can add outlets to walls, you can add water or bathrooms. So much easier things you can do here without having to disturb a lot of stuff, but just by crawling under the house. So this is just a 3/8 mix design here, and so you don't need a lot of vibration. You need to tap it with a hammer, and that's about it. It really self-consolidates as it drops. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.
Odell, complete, concrete. Odell, complete, concrete.